Good evening, students.
Good evening, madam.
So only 6 students are there. So shall we wait for another 2-3 minutes?
Okay, madam.
Sure. Okay, we'll start. So today we are going to learn Japanese education system. So I think you can remember, right? The best system of study we just went through, right? 4 countries. So here the Japan is one of the best country in education. Not only the education, they have that country is very good in efficient people, and they like their country, right? So here we'll see what is the difference. If time permits, right? So we can compare with our Sri Lankan education system or reforms, right? So from 1949, what happens to our country's education system, right? So here the Japanese education system, 6334 system, right? So So when we are going to learn our Sri Lankan education, you will see some different numbers. Here, 6334 system. That means 6 year of elementary school, primary school. We have 5 years now, right? 1 to 5 year primary school. Here, 6 years of elementary school. 3 years of junior high school, right? And 3 years of senior high school, 4 years at the university, right? So Japan has 100% enrollment in the first 9 years of their education, and Japan has zero illiteracy. So we have 98%, 98%, no, 2% illiteracy people are there. But here, zero illiteracy. Right, so you can see the difference, right? Our system is, right, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 4, right? Again 2 and 2, right? Here 6, 3, 3, 4. So 1 year primary school is lengthy than us, right? But 3 years only junior high school, we have 4 year. And 3 years senior high school, we have 2 year. And university, of course, it depends 3 year, 4 year, right? 3 year general degree and honors degree 4 years, right? So this is the Japan education system. So educational system of Japan started with kindergarten. So usually start at 3. Right now, our Sri Lankan the preschools started at which age? Can anyone comment on that? Actually, it is not mandatory, right? Like the primary school and our school system is starting in grade 6, year age of 6 is mandatory. But here, what is the pattern now we have in Sri Lanka? At what age that parents are sending the children to maybe preschool, Montessori, or playpen or something?
4 or
3
5,
years.
madam.
From 4 or 5, starting from 4 years.
4.
4, yeah, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. Pre-KG, upper KG, and
3
LKG
to
and
3.
You are far behind now, right? So now our parents are they are very enthusiastic. They are sending their children in up 2.5 years old, right? So I'm the witness. I have sent my son at 2.25 years old for the Montessori, right? Playpen. But it is not mandatory, right? You can send it in 3 plus 4, even 5, right? But 5 to 6 preparatory age for school. Now I think the parents can't keep the children because they are very knowledgeable, right? Then our period, of course, we know only to play, right? And no exposure. We don't have, at that time, we didn't have even TV, only radio. right? So listening to the songs and things, right? And all this we are playing, right? So skillful play. But now it is not. Children can learn a lot of things via media, right? So here in educational system of Japan, so they started at 3, right? So the name is kindergarten. Frober is the philosopher Frober only gave this name. Kindergarten means it's a children's garden, right? So they have to be very happy in that place, right? So not compulsory, having only 60% enrollment rate. Yeah, even in Japan also it's not compulsory, right? That is according to the parents' view. Play, singing, songs, observation, hearing, and speaking handicrafts. Right? So you must be wondering why I have admitted my son in 2.25 age. Right? So sometimes you might think, right? Even though madam is educated, we don't know why she admitted in this very tender age, right? It's a normal question. People can think, right? What happened? Even not only my son, right? There are a lot of children, young children came to that because at that year only they started that Montessori, right? And they started with a very good background, right? Uh, uh, so they had good trained teachers, right? Uh, so the normally first time means they will do in a best way, no? So we thought, right, better. And the other thing is, right, and my son also wants to learn a lot of things. Even at that 10 day, he likes to read, right? And even though the TV is going on, he is not interested in TV, right? He used to read books. He used to watch these pictures and all. So we and uh, so so we thought to admit, and he learned very quickly, right? Um, so not that we don't have a servant or there's no way to looking after the child at home. So mostly now that problem is also there, no, right? So parents might feel better to keep the child in the daycare center or a home because it's safe, like, right? Okay, so in Japan kindergarten, right? Play, singing songs, observation, hearing and speaking handicrafts, right? So I think the similar things are done by Sri Lankan Montessori also. Emphasis on being independent and necessary life habits. Right. So in this point, I think as Sri Lankans, we are a little bit different. We are feeding the child, right? Up to, I think, up to 6, 7 years. More than that, we are feeding, right? It's easy for us. We will feed something and send into school, right? So here, emphasis on being independent and necessary life habits. So why I am explaining this, right? We have to understand, we are comparing the educations, right? So why they are so far from us, right? So there must be something behind, right? We are identifying and we are investigating those things, right? So necessary life habits. Emphasis on being independent and necessary life habits, right? So I have two, two sons, right? And my eldest son is having two kids, 2 boys. And recently, my second son got a baby girl. Right now, she is 7 months old. So I have been there for 6 months with the girl, right? And I came back. So up to I'm there, right? They didn't feed any solid food. And now they are feeding, right? So at the end of this lesson, I will show that what they have sent me, the photos, right? So they are from 7 months, right? They are training to be independent. They are not feeding, right? But we feel something, right? We wanted to feed the child, like, right? So that is an emphasis on being independent and necessary life habits. So do you think this independence is good or not? Do you think that according to our Sri Lankan system, what we are feeding is good?
No,
Yes. Which one is better?
they need to learn from themselves.
Yeah, that's good. That's what our children can't be dependent always, right? Not only up to marriage age, but the children are dependent, right? So everything done by the parents, right? After going for work only, little bit they are independent, right? So in the foreign countries, right, young boys, that means after a certain age, they have to be dependent and they can't be dependent on the parents, right? Uh, so teachers considered as developed in understanding children's world. So they have to enjoy their world, but we are not leaving them to enjoy their world. Always we are behind. We are guiding, right? We are advising, right? So that thing is there, right? So Japan education kindergarten is this, right? You can see how children are so wearing hats, and you can see here how happy they are, right? So this, of course, we learned now, right? 6 year, 3 year, 3 year, 4, right? And right, so in between, just I wanted to show something related to India also, right? As comparative education, right? So better if we have more countries and what is happening there and which one is better to our country, right? So those things you have to, that means things to ponder, right? So primary education systems in India, see the difference, right? Here you can see the dress and the children. In India, you can see how they have dress, right? This is primary education, not the pre-primary education. And India's education, primary 1 to 5 age. That means primary classes 1 to 5, grade 1 to 5, 6 to 11. So same as we. We are also sending our children in 6 up to 11. They were in the primary classes, right? So according to India, secondary 6 to 10. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So how many years? Age 11 to 5 years, right? Classes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 years, right? And higher secondary, 16 to 17, right? After that, graduation, post-graduation, right? So our system is a little bit different. It is not continuing, right? The school education is stops at 13-year level, and then they have to enter the university. right? And then they can do the postgraduate studies, right? So you can see the differences. So primary education, the Indian government lays emphasis to primary education up to 14 years. Age of 14 years referred to elementary education in Sri Lanka. The names also different. We are using primary and they are using elementary. The Indian government has also banned child labor in order to ensure that the children do not enter unsafe working conditions. Even in Sri Lanka is also the same. But even though there are few children working as these laborers, right? However, both free education and the ban on child labor are difficult to enforce due to economic disparity and social conditions. 80% of all recognized schools at the elementary stage, right? So even the same plight is in Sri Lanka. Due to economics disparity only, that they are sending their children to labor work, right? Now it is less. Earlier, you can see in each house, right? The household work is done by children, small children, right? So creating a child-friendly environment, learning by doing. So this is Dewey's concept, learning by doing, right? So here you can see in the primary school and the preschool, so they are working with toys and a jigsaw puzzle and so many things. So secondary education system in India, the national policy of education in 1988, right? So here you can see the younger boys, right? So the introduction of traditional elements such as youth into the Indian secondary school system. Secondary education covers children 14 to 18, which covers so 18.5 million children according to the census in 2001. Right? So India is a very big country and with huge population. I think now, don't know whether it's the first populated country in the world, right? Earlier China. So however, enrollment figures show that only 31 million of these children were attending school in 2001 and 2. Which means that 2/3 of the population remained out of school. Right, so that thing is there, right? Whatever they enforce the ban from child labor and free education, right? So the children are out of schools. So that is the most unfortunate situation, both Sri Lanka and India. So higher education in India, India's higher education system is the third largest in the world after China and the United States. Right now things are, don't know whether it's changed, right? Indian government expenditure on education, right? This is also, we have to compare, right? Which countries are spending more money on education, why? Right? So to compare, Sri Lanka is spending less money on education. Here 10.7 in 2007, 2006. So they have divided into pre-primary, primary, secondary, tertiary, right? So 10.7% of government spending goes to education. So this is the classroom you can see in India. This picture is very popular, right? And I have shown you last week also, right? So that means our education system is like an engine producing graduates. Education in India is provided by a public sector as well as the private sector. And in Sri Lanka also, now we have private and public sector, right under private. There are international schools. As the private sector with control and funding coming from three levels: central, state, and local. Right, this much of development is not in Sri Lanka yet, right? So local government and central state. Under various articles of Indian Constitution, free and compulsory education is provided as a fundamental right to children between age to 6 and 14. Even in Sri Lanka, it's up to grade 9. Education is compulsory. India has made progress in terms of increasing the primary education attendance rate and expanding literacy to approximately 3/4 of the population in the 7 to 10 age group by 2011. So India's improved education system is often cited as one of the main contributors to its economic development. So they are well developed in IT, right? So they are far further from us, right? So I think they were in the first rank in IT, right, in the whole world. So that's what. So the development is economic development is very high. So much of the progress, especially in higher education and scientific research, has been credited to various public institutions. While enrollment in higher education has increased steadily over the past decade, reaching a gross enrollment ratio of 24% in 2013. So how they are improving, right? At the primary and secondary level, India has large private school system complementing the government-run school with 29% of the students receiving private education in the 6 to 14 age group. Right, even in Sri Lanka, we are believing, right, private schools are doing better than government school, especially in the discipline side, right? Most of the parents want their children to be in the private school, right? But there are good government school also. Even for that, it's very huge fighting, right? As per the annual status of Education Report 2012, 96.5% of all rural children between the ages of 6 to 14 were enrolled in school. 96.5. Even we also have, if you go through the central bank report, right, easily you can find out the dropouts, right? How much they recruit in grade 1 and how much students are doing O-level within the same group. Right, so you can see a huge dropouts in every year. right? As per annual status, so 6 to 14 were enrolled in school. This is the 4th annual survey to report enrollment about 96. And 2013, 22.9 crore students enrolled in different accredited urban and rural school of India from class 1 to 12. So representing an increase of 23 lakh students over 2002. So it's increasing, especially 19% increase in girls enrollment, right? So the education system in India, so Gurukula system, even Sri Lanka also had the same. So the guru and the shishyan, right? So the children will work for them and they live with them, right? And they will study. The ancient times, India had a Gurukula system of education in which anyone who wished to study went to a teacher's house and requested to be taught. If accepted as a student by the guru, he would then stay at the guru's place and help in all activities at home. This is not only created a strong tie between the teacher and the student, but also taught the student everything about running a house. That is like a training. The guru taught everything the child wanted to learn, from Sanskrit to holy scriptures and from mathematics to metaphysics. The student stayed as long as she wished, or until the guru felt that he had taught everything he could teach. So all learning was closely linked to nature and to life, and not confined to memorizing some information. So earlier, even at Sri Lanka, India, not confined to memorizing, right? I don't know why it became to memorize side, right? Right. So now again, we move to Japan education. Now we know the structure, right? And Japan's high school dropout rate is 2%. There are an average of 29 students per class. It used to be between 40 to 50, right? So the classroom size, of course, same like ours, especially urban schools, our urban schools, right? So when we are visiting rural schools, the number of students are very less, right? 46% of all high school graduates continue on and attend the University of Junior College. So their system is something different. 46 of all high school graduates continue on and attend the university or junior college. And school begins in April, ends in March. This is also different. We start from January to December, here April to March. In some other countries, Commonwealth countries, they will start from September to September, right? So the cherry blossom bloom in April and they represent a fresh start. So why they are starting in April? Because of the cherry blossom. Right now, the cherry blossom trees are in Canada also, right? So while I'm there, right, I also visited. So the cherry blossom will be there for 2 weeks only, right? So very beautiful. And once I went to Japan also, at that time, I'm fortunate to see this cherry blossom, right? So a little bit different, right? But anyway, both countries cherry blossom, that season is very nice, right? So because of cherry blossom, they wanted to start in April, right? So Vasanta Kaliya, so April means even we have that Some schools require students to attend school on Saturdays. So this, of course, we don't have, right? Our children, maybe for some reasons, some functions, they might attend on Saturdays, but not always, right? So some schools require students to attend school on Saturdays, right? In Japanese education. Schools open in April and ends in March the next year, which was modeled after the French school system. So they are also influenced French school system. Japanese, we are influenced by British colonization system. Japanese students spend 240 days a year in school. 60 days more than their American counterparts. So we also have this timetable, no, right? So at the beginning of the year, they will say this much of year you have to spend for education. But anyway, we have 3 months leave, right? Average school day on weekdays is 6 hours. After school hours, children have drills and other homework to keep them busy. So can you compare to our country? 7:30 to 1:30, right? 6 hours is correct. Because 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 6 hours. But anyway, there is a half an hour interval also, right? But here 6 hours, weekdays. But they are doing more work after school hours. Children have drills and other homework to keep them busy, right? So which we don't have, right? So sometimes they are doing special classes. So there's some principals, they are requesting teachers to do extra classes. Other than that, it is not mandatory. Here in this Japan, so after school hours classes are there. And vacations are 6 weeks in summer and about 2 weeks each of winter and spring. So in public elementary and junior high school, school lunch is provided on a standardized menu and is eaten in the classroom. Right? So I think earlier when we are small, so we got some biscuit, scare biscuit or something and bread, right, at that time. But it's not like a lunch or anything, right? And later, once in a way, they started and dropped, right? But here in Japan, right, they are providing a standardized menu, right, for school lunch. And in Canada also, they are providing meals for children, right? Especially for primary children, standard menu is giving, right? And junior high school require their students to wear school uniform. And junior high school require, right? Our Sri Lankan style, of course, from the from grade 1 to 13, they are wearing uniform. And the school culture, Japanese school system controls the individual by observing group rules. Right, even in India, right, teachers sometimes they are wearing shalwar, not the sari sometimes. And the students also wearing different type of uniforms, right? Not white and blue. So since preschool children learn to maintain cooperative relationship with their peers, to follow the set school's routines and to value relationship. In the elementary, one teacher teaches all subjects in the class. Right, so in Japan, there are 6 years in elementary. So 6 years, one teacher teaches all the subjects in the class. That is also something different from our system, right? So first, there are 2 years, one teacher is teaching. After that, they are changing. So modern education system. So even here, right, you have to so evaluate. You have to have a fair system, right? So Indian education system is like this, it seems. So this the exam is to climb a tree, right? So most of the animals can't do that, right? So that type of exams are not suitable. Uh, and the school systems. So now we are moving to school system, right? That is also we have to have some knowledge. So in India, divided into 28 states and seven so-called union territories, right? So we are having district schools, right? In each district, there's a national school like that. Our type is different. The states have their own elected governments, while the union territories are ruled directly by the right. So here it's like a joke, right? Study how much it's a burden like. So the students are carrying a huge burden, right? So even our Sri Lankan system also, the children's bag is very heavy with lot of books. The Indian system is also the same, right? But teachers are sleeping here, right? The university is also grabbing money from the students, right? But they are the school education was originally a state subject. That is, the states had complete authority on deciding policies and implementing them. The role of the government of India was limited to coordination and deciding on the standard of higher education, right? So there are backlogging is going on, right? Not 100%. Okay. So primary and middle and upper primary education is compulsory and free in India. Right? Primary and middle and upper primary. Right? So up to grade 9. Primary education begins at age 6. 6 to 14. Right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 9 years. Right? Same like us. Right? Schooling is offered at state-run and private schools. However, private schools often have poorer facilities and infrastructure than government schools. But in our country, it's different. The regional language is the medium of instruction for most primary school, and English as a second language generally begins by grade 3. And if some teachers are there, I think postgraduate diploma means you'll have already teachers, right? Are you all working in these A-level classes or junior secondary, senior secondary classes? Because already you all are graduates now, right?
I'm working for secondary, madam.
Secondary, madam.
Secondary.
Yes, ma'am.
That means 10, 11 classes.
Yes, ma'am. 10, 11.
Right, so that's what the postgraduate diploma means. You all are graduates and doing postgraduate study. So normally the teachers are placed in A-level classes, right? Or senior secondary classes, right? Now the number of graduates are very high now. So gradually the graduates are coming down to junior secondary as well as senior secondary and junior secondary also, right? Because that is the government's this objective, right? Some other, they are going to make all the teachers as graduates, right? And the secondary education begins in 9, last until grade 12. The secondary stage is broken into two-year cycles, generally referred to as general lower secondary school or standard 10, and upper senior secondary school or standard 12. Education continues to be free at government schools, although private education is more common at the secondary level. So government schools are free. So just have a look on this. If possible, read at least the big letters. School skill creativity. Are you all accepting this? School skills creativity.
Agree, ma'am.
Agree.
Agree.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, especially in Sri Lanka, no creativity at all. At least in the primary, they are cutting and pasting, and even if they are doing something in clay, right? But later, only cramping, only reading, only writing, right? Mostly lecture method. So even though we are requesting to do activity-based education, some teachers are trying to do, right? That is up to the teacher's hand. So school skills, creativity, this philosopher, Ivan Illich, right? He wrote a book, De-Schooling. That means he totally disagree with schools. Schools are not doing the proper work, right? So at that time, it was a very huge, that book was very success. And so almost all the world jerked about that book, right? Because on the school, the very precious, no, right? So for school, the basic item is school. From school only, the children are from the school only, the children coming to the society, right? That concept is there, right? And education, it goes deep with the people, like religion, politics, money. We must see our creative capacities for the richness they are. Intelligence is desired, dynamic, distinct. Creativity is as important in education as literacy. We should treat it with the same status. So that means why I'm showing this, there are a lot of criticism against the study, right? That means they need some change, right? So education is dynamic, right? So I think after doing this postgraduate diploma, definitely you all might join to the this Master of Education and MPhil PhD, right? So I think you all, after becoming an educator, right? So you have to think in this side, what we can do, right, to our education system, right? So we definitely you all will understand, right? We need some change, right? Even I think now the present government is doing some changes, right? I think still it's in process. Right. So now we are moving to the comparing and going, right? So Japanese elementary schools begins at age 6. Here, see the curriculum: Japanese, their mother tongue; social studies, maths, science, music, art, homemaking, physical education. So can we see some similarity of with our subject here? So begins at age 6. Same with us, right? So the curriculum, mother tongue, of course, we have no our mother tongue. Social studies, maths, science, music, art, homemaking, physical education, but the mother tongue is there, but not the second national, the English international language is not there, right? But in the primary, even in Sri Lanka, they are having oral English above, right? Later, they start the English language, right? So here, age and grade. So 7, 1, 2, right? So they have put in different state, right? In the middle, 7, right? 1, 2 grades, 8, 2, 3, 9, 3, 4, 10, 4, 5, 11, 5, 6, because they are starting in the middle of the year, no? April, right? So compulsory education, primary education, secondary education, elementary, junior, and high. And education ladder, age 3 to 4, 4 to 5, up to 12, right? So 6 to 7 only, they are coming to the grade 1, right? So this is primary elementary school. So 3 to 6 years, preschool, kindergarten, right? And they have a special school also. And age 12, 13, to 13, 14, 14, 15. Again, compulsory education, right? Junior high school and lower secondary. So grade 10, 11, 12, high school, upper secondary, College of Technology. So this College of Technology we don't have, right? Technical colleges are there, but after schooling, even here, the compulsory education is up to 14 years, right? And then 18 to 90 years, university, undergraduate, national academy. So they can select medical school, veterinary school, dentistry school, pharmaceutical school, National Defense Medical College. Right, so they are calling as school, not university. Community college vocational schools. So 9 to 20 associate, that means professor, 20 to 21, 22 bachelors, right? No, here associate, not professor, 19 to 20 years associate. And then that means undergraduates. And within 3 years, they are becoming bachelors. Then masters, graduate school PhD, and so 26, 27, 27, 28, they are doing PhD, right? All disciplines, they can do PhD. So in the Japanese elementary school, once a week, children have moral education classes. So this is also one unique feature, but we don't have. But we are our teachers also teaching moral things, attitudinous things in the pre-primary school, right? Here, the Japanese elementary school having moral education once a week. Classes are part of whole person education, which is the main task of elementary school system. Moral education is also evident during the school's class cleaning and school lunch activities. So that is not disturbing the normal timetable. And junior high school, so same timetable. Student also have homeroom time, clubs and field trips. That is the difference. English, they included English here in the junior high school. And junior high school received their instruction from specialized teacher for each subject area. The pace in junior high school is very quick. The education is very textbook oriented. Teachers have lot of information to cover in order to have students ready for their senior high school entrance exam. So they have senior high school entrance exam, which we don't have. And Japanese senior high school, so from junior to senior, they have to pass the examination. Here types of high schools, elite and academic high schools. So elite academic high school collect top students who usually attend top universities. So elite academic high schools, that means it's private and fee-levying. Non-elite academic high school prepare students for less prestigious universities or junior colleges. They also send many students to private specialized schools, subjects such as bookkeeping, languages, and computer programming. So you can see the disparity in senior high school. And types of high school, vocational high schools, offers courses in commerce, technical. You can see a lot of these opportunities are given for different students. Subjects, agriculture, home science, nursing, and fishing. Correspondence high school, flexible form of schooling for 1.6% of students who missed out on high schooling for different reasons. Evening high school offer classes to poor but ambitious students who work while trying to remedy their educational deficiencies. So evening high school also available there, right? So you can see the differences, right? So why Japan people are very active, right? And they have translated all the materials in Japan, right? Now I think they like to learn English also, right? So education system in Japan. So here you can say this is the cherry blossom, right? So Japan also, compared to Sri Lanka, it's a huge country. So in elementary, compulsory for children aged 6 to 12, 99.35 public and only 0.65 private, because 0 point illiterate, no, right? Enrollment rate is 1999, considered as the first step of the child into society. Provide children age 6 to 12 elementary general education suited to the appropriate stage of their mental and physical development. 6 to 12 years, right? They are considering mental and physical development. Children are not held back if they do poorly and the other way around. Parent-teacher communication also important in this 6 to 12 age. So educational system, curriculum designed and created by Monbusho, right? So our one is, of course, NI prepares the curriculum and Ministry Education is printing, right? Here, the curriculum designed and created by Ministry of Education. Subjects include Japanese language, social studies, science, art, music, home economics, physics, education. So you can see the difference in subjects, right? And facilities, buildings are plain but functional. Excellent educational facilities, including libraries, music room, art room, gymnasia, and playground, swimming pools, science rooms are similarly well equipped. That part is lacking in Sri Lanka, right? Well equipped facilities are not everywhere, right? So we are categorizing schools, right, in type 1, type 2, 1AB, national, like according to the facility. So you can see some school, this is a cherry blossom and sumo, right? So 24 million students from kindergarten to university. And preschool and daycare, right? So in our country, preschool daycare is completely private, right? So 1% of government schools only having preschool and daycare centers. Predominantly staffed by young female junior college graduates and supervised by the Ministry of Education, but are not part of the official education system. A well-developed system of government-supervised daycare centers is supervised by the Ministry of Labor. Right, these type of things we don't have. And teacher preparation. Teachers for kindergarten schools are always trained in the teacher training institution, while the secondary school teachers are also train in the universities. Kindergarten schools, teachers trained in teacher training institutions. Secondary school teachers are trained in universities. In the same vein, teachers for the Japanese higher education are equally trained in the universities. It should be noted that before a person can be appointed to teach in any public tertiary institution, such a person is expected to have a minimum of master degrees in the area where he wants to teach. So this is also a huge difference, right? So our Sri Lankan people can teach with the O-level qualification, A-level qualification, right? And College of Education, and then graduates, right? So teachers minimum of master degree, right? Even in Finland, minimum master degree. In Canada, minimum master degree, right? And teacher preparation, 3 types: regular teaching certificate, special teaching certificate, temporary teaching certificate. Different teaching certificate earned through this university and college, training college, is required for teaching at each level of schooling, such as kindergarten, primary school, lower secondary school, upper secondary school, and special needs education. Laws and regulation have established the minimum number of credits that a person must acquire in the teacher training courses at universities, graduate school, and junior school. That means special need education is compulsory, right? So teachers, 60% of teachers are women. Teachers at different grade level each year. So they are changing. Doesn't reprimand, students must get guides. The class in correcting each other's behavior, supervise the lives of students outside school, requires license, bachelor's degree 4 years, pass prefectural education and a license exam. So here the bachelor's degree 4 years they have to complete, right? In the most of the Commonwealth countries, right, teachers need bachelor's education. So those who are doing bachelor's education here, I think they can apply for this migration, right? That means they can do work there with not only the bachelor's, right? They need master's also. And in Canada, they have to do 1 year training extra, Canadian training. Then only they can enter to the government school, right? Because government schools are paying more than private schools in Canada, right? Here you can see a newly employed unmarried 23-year-old teacher with no dependents earn 2.5 to 2.9 million yen, right? So yen, this is, I think it's a very lower amount, right? So million yen. 50-year-old principal with a spouse, no dependent children, 7.8 to 8.7 million they are earning, right? Head teachers helps new or weaker teachers improve teaching skills, instruction or classroom management assigned in sending weekly, monthly newsletter to parents. So principals, 98% of principals are men. right? So you have to note this, right? Principals, 98%. Principals are men, right? Responsible for all school activities, represent the school in PTA and outside groups, school symbol and expectation. Because in teaching profession in Sri Lanka, most of the, I think more than 75% ladies, right? Here, 98% principals are men. And classroom management, 38 to 45 students, right? This, of course, like Sri Lanka, right? Number of students are very high. Extensive training from the first day of this child's school, career in the routine and rituals that make up the school day. Teachers teach a student that they are responsible for their behavior. Students are taught to take pride in conducting themselves in orderly and efficient manner. So you can see how they are walking, and you can see one Japan classroom, right? So this is lower secondary education. So you can see the uniforms. Part of the compulsory stage in Japanese education, students age 12 to 15. Purpose is to provide gender education corresponding to students' mental and physical development on the basis. So they are giving more priority for mental and physical development. Teachers assigned to one subject only. So 2 out of 3 are men. Additional subjects, English language, moral education and religion. So we don't have moral education as a subject. No breaks in between classes. Classes 50 minutes. That is also a different. We have 40 minutes period. Here 50 minutes. No breaks in between classes. Graduates of lower secondary schools are entitled to advance to School of Upper Secondary Education College. So here graduates of lower secondary schools are entitled to advance to School of Upper Secondary Education. So if you are doing, that means higher education will send you to the higher position. So upper secondary high school not compulsory, students age 15 to 8. So up to 14 only, it's compulsory education. After that, not compulsory. Purpose is to provide higher general education and specialized education according to students' mental and physical development. So 3 categories: academic 41 to 45, specialized 26 to 30, and integrated over 120. Right, so even here you can see some differences. This type is we don't have this type of educational system. So agriculture, industry, commerce, fishery, home economics, nursing, science, mathematics, physical education, music, art, English language, and other courses. So this is in school, right? Not in university. Integrated courses were introduced in 1994. So these courses offer a wide variety of subjects, areas, and subjects from both the general and the specialized courses in order to adequately satisfy students' diverse interest, abilities, and aptitude future career plans. So here a lot of subjects are available, so they can select. And higher education, ages 18 to 22 must take NAT and the school exam itself, national exams. 81% private universities. The women who wants to pursue courses stress home, economics, nursing, teaching humanities and social science. So see 81% private universities. I think now in Sri Lanka, the percentage is a little bit increasing, right? Anyway, the state universities are popular. Doctoral level 24 to 28. So the curriculum outline, Japanese school system primarily consists of 6-year elementary school, 3-year junior high school and 3-year high school, followed by 2 or 3-year junior college or 4-year colleges. Compulsory education lasts for 9 years through elementary and junior high school. School exchanges during Japan educational travel are mainly implemented in junior high school and high schools. For physically or mentally challenged students, there is a system called special needs education to support special students to develop their self-reliance and thus enhance their social participation. So this is the curriculum outline, that means summary. So the time period, right? The feature is special needs education. So they are carrying them and they are giving job opportunities and self-reliance for them. School life, public school in Japan have classes 5 days a week from Monday to Friday. There are also schools that have classes on Saturday. In junior high and high schools, there are 6 class periods each day. We have 8 periods. But here typically 50 minutes. That's what they are having 6. We have 40 minutes, so we are having 8, right? So after classes, students clean the classroom in shifts and then start their club activities. So there are a variety of clubs such as cultural and sports one. So school life, even in Sri Lankan popular schools, they can have clubs and societies. But the thing is, after classes, students clean the classroom in shift. Academic calendar, the school year begins in April and ends in March of the following year. Most schools adopt a 3-semester system with the first semester from April to August, the second semester from September to December, and the third semester January to March. So 3 terms, semesters, right? They are not calling as terms, semester, right? So now universities also have in the semester system. So there is also a summer break, end of July to end of August. So more than 1 month. A winter break, end of December to beginning January. That is also 1 month. And so end of December to the beginning means it's not that much. And spring break from the end of March to beginning of April. So that is also not a long one. So you can see the schedule 8:15 to 8:30, 8:30 to 9:15, 9:20 to 10:05. So up to 2 o'clock they have. And school organization, the structure of schools. Each school has a principal, a vice principal, teachers, a school nurse, and other administration staff. Right, so here, vice principal, right? As the chief executive, the principal assumes all responsibilities of the school, including the courses provided and related administrative work. The vice principal supports the principal to manage administrative affairs of the school and to be in charge of students' educational activities and curriculum as well. So here the manage administrative affairs of the school and to be in charge of students' educational activities and curriculum as well. But here the curriculum, of course, not with school, right? So the curriculum is prepared by National Institute of Education and printed by Ministry of Education. Furthermore, in order to ensure school smooth operation, teachers take on various responsibilities such as taking care of educational activities, students' school life, and employment guidance for students after graduation. Many schools are also established their own committees, for example, International Exchange Promotion Committee and others. Right, so they are doing a lot of extracurricular work in school. And special features of Japanese education. Regarding the level of education, the level of Japanese education is high, even by world standards, in OECD program for international student assessment, PISA. Aimed at 15-year-olds, Japanese students records high levels of achievement, particularly in science-related areas. So educational activities outside of the school also flourish, and programs leading to advanced education are implemented. So enrollment in high school, the second half of secondary education reaches over 90%. And the enrollment in college are also high, reaching 50%. Admission to high school and colleges is mainly through entrance exam held from January to March. So these entrance exams also we don't have. We have A-level exam, right? So with that score only, they are selecting students for university, right? So that different is there. So entrance exams are mostly common in many countries. So it's a summary. Why is Japan successful in the field of education? It is mainly because they standardize and demanding curriculum, teaching approaches that encourage student engagement. They give importance on school-home communication. Right? They give importance on school-home communication, long schooling and additional schooling, teacher quality, carefully targeted financial resource, and focus on equity. As future teachers, we need to educate ourselves in a way that we can do global teachers. So with wide range of knowledge that is not based only locally, but internationally and worldwide. Have you come across any experienced teacher with personal experience on different cultures and knowledge? Such a model and very influencing. Have you come across an experienced teacher with personal experience on different cultures? I think Sri Lankan teachers are having this quality. If we were able to come up with different features with Japan and Philippines educational system, inspiration may come to our mind on how to be globally compare ourselves and for our future students as well. So earlier these exchange programs are there, right? I can remember one of my school colleague also went to this exchange program, and she got the best award of best teacher award also from UK. Anytime I think she can go to UK and work, right? So this is some practices they have. right? So this is school exchange, different school people come and meeting together. I think someone's the mic is on. No, that mic, please. Right, so the universities in 2010, more than 2 to 8 students enroll in Japan's 778 universities. You have to note this point, right? 778 universities. We have only 19 universities, right? Here, 778 universities, right? At the top of the higher education structure, these institutions provide 4-year training leading to bachelor's degree, 6-year program leading to professional degree. I think teachers are going through this professional degree, 6 years. And 2 types of public 4-year colleges, the 86 national universities, including the open universities, 95 local public universities, which are founded by prefectures and municipalities. The 597 remaining 4-year colleges in 2010 were private. Right? So, huge number of universities are available there. So you can see the popular courses: social sciences, engineering, business, humanities, law, education, accounting. To help defray expenses, students frequently work part-times. Part-time works are available. Borrow money through the government-supported Japan Scholarship Association, local government, non-profit corporation, and other institutions, right? So that loan and available in many countries, right? Children can get the loan and they can learn, and after that they have to repay. The quality of universities and higher education in Japan is internationally recognized. There are 11 Japanese universities in 2006 World University Ranking. University of Tokyo 19, Kyoto University 23rd, 2010 the QS Asia University Rankings Top 20 included 8 Japanese universities like the University of Tokyo again. So top ranking universities are there. Out of the top 100 Asian universities in 2011 times, higher education QS World University Ratings 33 were Japanese. So they are in good rankings. Junior colleges, mainly private, legally of the occupation. More than 90% of the students in junior colleges are women. Higher education for women is still largely perceived as marriage or for a short-term career before marriage. So 90% of the students in junior colleges are women. And special training schools also available. In the special training school, computer science, vocational training, large number of men enrollees, right? So some students attend these schools in addition to attending university. Others go to quality for technical license or professional certification. College technology, so you can see the differences. Foreign language education is there. Philippine also seems to be developed, right? So you can see the differences. Japan, English, Japanese language, mother tongue, Filipino, English. Music, fine arts, physical education, music, art, physical education, and health. Social studies, Araling, Panipular, Puna, maybe their language, right? Science, moral studies, industrial arts, and homemaking, right? So the one thing in India, right, female education is less than male education, 65.46, but not in Sri Lanka. So the issues, workforce quality, 25% of the sector teacher and 40% of the public sector medical worker were absent. This is in India, right? Here you can see how poor people are there. You can see the infrastructure, right? So not like the Western countries, right? Here you can see this type of education places. Here seems to be pathetic, right? 59% of school had no drinking water and 89% had no toilets in India. 3.5% of primary schools in Bihar and Chhattisgarh has had toilets only for girls. The number of secondary school is almost half the number of upper primary school in the country. So the population is very high, but they are facing a lot of issues. And the participation, lower secondary level enrollment rate is 52. Senior secondary 28, preschool 18, 48% dropout rate elementary education. So curriculum issues, rote learning rather than problem solving. So Indian education is not to sound like Japan, right? You can compare that. And IES overregulated and undergoverned. India has one of the lowest GER, general enrollment ratio globally. 40% of the total student base in enrolled in private schools, 40%. 7% of total capacity. 0.85% of the 30% spent on capital expenditure and 80% spent on teacher salaries. So at glance, you can see 7% of these schools are private. 18,000 higher education institutes. 77 of them are private. No, now schools 7% private and 93 government. I think this is the government is higher, schools are higher percentage. Total number of students, 60% government, 40% private. Total number of higher education institutes, 18,000, 77 private and 23 government. So in India, university, secondary, primary, secondary university, you can go up to PhD, right? Bachelor's, graduate, the diploma, master's and PhD. So at the same parallelly, vocational graduate certificate also available. Certificate 1, 2, 3, 4, diploma and advanced diploma. So vocational side also developed. SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Responsible for creation of large human resource. Skill set with English proficiency and quantitative has resulted in international demand of Indian students. Earlier, their pronunciation is criticized, Indian pronunciation, but now I think they have improved. And weaknesses, lack of investment in infrastructure leading to misadministered universities. Even you saw some schools and it's not up to the standard. And political interference in the university administration, lack of market orientation in designing curriculum, inadequate collaboration among professional organizations, little scope of extracurricular activities. So these are the weaknesses. Opportunities, inflow of foreign students resulting in huge revenues. So I think even Sri Lankan students, right? More than 10 to 15% students are in India. They are doing their degree. Increased competition resulting in improved efficiency and quality. So more than 300 equity funds like to invest in Indian education system. So threats, private institutions may not indulge in social responsibility because the private sector is increasing, right? Schools, of course, government schools are more. Other than that, private is this leading. So it's a threat. Marketing techniques by universities may promote courses which are irrelevant to students. So universities are trying to attract students, and sometimes it might be wrong, right? So in Japan, arigato gozaimasu means thank you, right? So, so today we learn another two countries, India and Japan, right? It is so Japan, of course, highly developed, right? And India education, of course, it's they are saying that it's good, right? But the infrastructure, of course, it's very there's a need to improve, right? So I think you have to understand under comparative education why we have to learn different countries, right? Then only we can compare, right? Even though the infrastructure is bad, right? Indian education is growing, right? So that government is taking good decisions to invest in new avenues, right? So all of a sudden they invest and putting branches to the universities, and they became first in the rank for IT, right? So it is timely done by that government, right? So Japan, of course, they have a different system, and they have a lot of subjects to select, even from the grade 9. So uh, so actually, I thought of start this, but it's too difficult for you all. I'm not going to start this one, right? So we'll discuss. So you can discuss something related to what we have learned before, right? That day we learned about 4 countries, and today 2, and some other the uh, oldest comparison. That means about these people, this in each country there is a, yeah, this originated people was there, right? So what are the problem and issues they face in education, right? uh, and I think in uh, this comparative education syllabus, so Japan country is there, and some other South Africa and other countries, and what type of the problems and issues are there, and that also we have to learn a little, right? That means current problem of education in developed countries, right? So maybe political and the cost effectiveness, time efficiency, so productivity, these are the needed things, right? So we'll learn this part next week, right? Um, I will share today's um, to can't hear you. You all know. Is there any problem in hearing my side?
No, madam.
Yes, ma'am. During the lesson, time to time, sometimes it's like a field muting. It's not it's not consistent the long time, but sometimes it's like a 2-3 minutes we can't hear anything. Then again, it's back to normal.
Sometimes that the signal issues may be there, right? Right. I will upload the thing. Other than that, I hope you all would have understood. Is there any problems?
So far, it's clear for me, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Ma'am, could you do the second PowerPoint also? Because last time, previous lesson, you upload the PowerPoint presentation one, and you upload two PowerPoint presentations, but you upload the same
that,
thing.
No, no. After that, I uploaded. You just check.
Yeah, that day I download two of them. When I'm checking, it's the same thing. The
Is that
first day
so?
PowerPoint we have, the second lesson PowerPoint
No,
we don't.
no, I realized that the same thing, and again I uploaded. Don't know whether the same thing I've got. I'll check.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Mm. So, any other questions? Right, so the comparative education, I will show some papers also, right? It's facts, right? The comparative education means it's full of facts. That means you have to compare. For compare, you have to know the facts to compare, right? And why we are next time we'll do the education reforms in Sri Lanka, then you will know how our education starts and now still up to now, right? What are the changes took place and why is it good, right? Can you check this? I have sent, right? I'll check the previous things also. Can you open this?
Still, ma'am, it
Now
didn't
only
come
it's
here.
loaded. Loading. No. Still it's circling. Now only it's loading. Because the connection is also not much stable. That is the thing. Right? So when you all are teaching your students, right, any subject, any discipline, because you all must be in different discipline, maybe arts graduates, science graduates, commerce graduates, agriculture graduates, right? In any discipline, right, what you're teaching, right? So you have to compare, right, our country with other countries. Then only the children will come to know what type of thing we have to need in our future, right? So our students actually, they don't like to be farmers, no. Then you have to aware them, right? All the other countries' farmers are the people who are very rich, right? So in those countries, it's a very respectable, not only respectable, they are the people who are leading, right? So that type of thing you have to convey to the students, right? So fishery means it's not a bad thing, right? People are, our people don't like that, right? But in Japan, so it's a huge success, right? So our country is also island, no? Right? So fishery is our one of the best resource, right? So that type of things our children have to understand. Because of that only we are comparing our education. What are the vocational subjects the other countries are having? From which grade, right? Those things are important. Right now, I think you can open and see. Can you check, please, whether you can open it?
Yes, ma'am. I'm checking. Give me 1 second, ma'am.
Uh,
Yes, ma'am. It's opening now.
okay, right. I'll try to upload the other things also again, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much,
And
ma'am.
today I have a second one, but the thing is we didn't do that, no. But anyway, I'll try to upload that also. Right? You can read, no, right?
Yeah, ma'am. The second class, the PowerPoint, instead of the first PowerPoint, you brief us another PowerPoint. So that PowerPoint, if
Right.
you can upload, it's a great help.
Right. Okay. I'll be doing that then. Right.
Okay, thank
The
you, ma'am.
first one. And the best educational system you all got, no?
Uh, we got, ma'am, one is the introduction, and then this is the PowerPoint you shared. In between, we didn't have anything.
Right now the best education system also loading, right? It will come to
Okay.
you. And then the second one also I will do that.
Ma'am, this best education is the next class, no?
No, already done. Best.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Right. Okay. and I will upload one more, right?
Sure, ma'am.
Right, okay, good night. Good night, children.
Good night, ma'am. Good night,
Nice
ma'am.
day.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay.